guys, it's Shelby, and today I wanted to share with you a self-care video. Now listen, I'm really not that super crunchy granola girl who's super into all of the typical self-care things that have been going around the internet. There are plenty of ways to care for yourself without having to buy absolutely anything. But I thought I've seen so many videos going around about how to take care of yourself during quarantine, how to do a little bit of extra self-care, and just in general, the self-care movement is strong these days. But most of the things in those videos are not super friendly to the earth, so I thought, let me add to this conversation with one that is. So today I'm going to be trying out all of those self-care quarantine type of things that you've seen in other videos and attempting to make it a little bit more eco-friendly, starting with what I'm wearing right now. Your girl's on TikTok, okay? I said it. Don't come for me. I saw this TikTok recently that was like basically what the boomers did to millennials on Facebook, where they just came in and took over, is what millennials are doing to Gen Z over on TikTok. This is true. I'm sorry, not sorry. But on TikTok, there are so many people doing tie-dye at home. It's like the quarantine activity, and that is kindly translated over into YouTube. So you know what the first thing I did was, I made some eco-friendly tie-dye. But really though, I did make this tie-dye myself from food waste and sustainably and ethically made clothing. So the shorts are from a brand I've talked about before called Ecosia. Oh my god, you can't see them. But they were originally white, and then I used, like I said, food waste to dye them. And this shirt is organic cotton. Again, dyed it myself with food waste, and I'll play some clips for you right here, right now. It was a very fun experience that I probably wouldn't have done had I not been making this video. But since I did, I think I'm going to continue to keep my avocado pits, my onion skins. There are a few other ways that you can dye with natural dyes, and I'm going to start collecting those things and using my food waste to dye clothing because it's just fun. And since I did that in honor of quarantine and a little bit of self-care time to myself, I thought I would wear that in honor of today's video. All right, well, other than that, Madison is actually out of the house today for the first time in 2 months. If you guys know me, if you've been on this channel for any amount of time, you know that I really value time to myself. I'm a very introverted person, and normally it would work out really well because I work from home. Madison would go into the office a couple times a week, so I would have the house to myself. I would get to do my personal favorite form of self-care, which is just like chilling with myself alone. But since quarantine has started, I haven't been able to do that, and it's been a little weird for me because I can't be alone, and also for her because her time of going into the office and getting to hang out with her friends on those days is her like self-care routine essentially. So like I say, today is the first time in 2 months Madison has been out of the house that I've had the house to myself. She actually has a friend who lost his job due to lockdown, and so he is actually moving from Austin back to Arizona. This is probably the last time she'll ever get to see him, and he lived in Austin alone, and so his friend's family, he didn't have anybody to help him move. So she's gonna go help him move today. She just left, which means the house is all ours today, friends. Okay, so tie-dyeing with food waste is the first thing I did to do the little things people do in quarantine to make it more sustainable. Like I said, go check out that video. The other things we're gonna do involve all the basic normal things you've heard of. Things that I personally do love, like going for a walk, completely free, totally fun. Taking a bath, that was part of my self-care routine before this. Gonna do that today. We're gonna do the skin cares, the face mask, the journaling. We're gonna do it all. We're gonna see how I feel at the end of the day. And I'm just so excited to be home by myself, excited to share this video with you guys. Also excited to let you know that this video is in partnership with Earth Hero. You guys know if you've been watching this channel for a while, I love partnering with them. They're one of my favorite sponsors for this channel. I completely stand behind them as a brand and could gush over them for days. Earth Hero is a part of 1% for the Planet. They are a B corporation, and they are completely carbon neutral, and they have over 150 sustainable brands over on their site. And I'm always telling you guys, Earth Hero is about a lot more than zero waste swaps. There are plenty of brands out there selling zero waste swaps, okay? Earth Hero is much more than that. You can find a sustainable version for nearly anything in your life, and with their 5-step vetting process, you can ensure that the items you're finding are actually sustainable. So I will reiterate, you do not have to buy anything to care for yourself, but I do take a lot of value in baths and skincare and those sort of things that we are going to be talking about today, and we'll talk about some sustainable brands that they carry over on Earth Hero. So if you do decide to pick anything up, make sure you use code Shelby10 to get 10% off of your purchase. Now, first things first, if we're going to be doing something that has to do with quarantine, the typical self-care quarantine things people are talking about, we gotta make banana bread. But not banana bread, because I don't fucking Love bananas, do not like banana flavored things, so we're gonna make pumpkin bread. Once again, I'm not a chef or any sort of baker or anything remotely close to that. Every recipe I've ever done, I basically just got from someone off the internet, so I'll link it below. Also, I have this baking bread thing that I just freaking love, and I know to you guys it may not seem that cool, but to my family, they think this is like the most amazing thing to have a reusable bread pan, because so many use those just like foil pans, you know? Like I used this when my family was here recently and they were just amazed that like I had one of these. I thrifted this because they're so used to going and buying like the foil things like this. So yeah, this is really cool. We're gonna use this. Also, I love my misto, talked about it millions of times, but I've been getting like a lot of hate on TikTok for talking about this because they're like, why can't you just use oil that like comes in a glass bottle? And like I can, but like what's wrong with a reusable oil sprayer? It's perfect for things like this when you need to like oil a pan. This is the best thing I've ever bought, or one of the best swaps I've ever bought for my kitchen. Like what's wrong with that? I don't understand. Bread is in the oven, we have to come to terms with the fact that making your own stuff from scratch, albeit less waste and probably cheaper, also means there's a shit ton of dishes to do. Since this video is aiming at doing all of these trends and like self-care things more sustainably, I will tell you that there are studies out there that show that using your dishwasher saves water, that doing your dishes by hand with sparingly small amounts of water is better. But I'm just here to tell you that I know I'm pretty heavy-handed with water when I wash dishes because of my weird texture thing. Some textures really freak me out about dishes, so unless it's like a singular like plate or bowl or something, I put it in the dishwasher. We don't run it until it is completely full, and we use a zero waste dishwasher tab, which I'm just gonna show you. I keep them in this little glass jar here. They come in a cardboard box, no other packaging at all. I buy a brand called Drops. The formula is biodegradable and they're just cute like this. So I also don't run my dishwasher until nighttime to do it during lower demand hours. That's just a, you know, something that comes up when you bake, and the dishes are just begging to be done. And now we wait because it takes an hour for the bread to finish. And in the past where I have found a lot of peace, just letting some of the things in my brain not have to stay in my brain and like get them on paper, if that makes sense. So I figured today, since we're doing all about self-care, that sort of thing, I would include a little bit of journaling. And since we have about an hour until the bread is done, that's perfect, because normally, like I said, what I do when I brainstorm is give myself a slotted time on my weekly schedule to sit down, do nothing else other than just be with myself and think. And having that set time for me to do it makes me feel not so guilty about doing it, because I know it's planned. I will still get everything else done, but I can give myself time to journal. So I'm going to get started. I'm just going to write whatever is on my mind until the pumpkin bread timer goes off. I'm gonna be using this journal by A Good Company. This is a journal that I got on Earth Hero, and what's really interesting about A Good Company is this notebook is actually cradle to cradle certified. So it's a book that I read when I was in school for environmental science degree, or the way I learned about cradle to cradle is that, and it's basically companies who take responsibility for their entire production cycle. So the entire like life cycle of this product has been analyzed to be the most sustainable that it can. It's made completely with renewable energy. It's actually made from recycled construction materials, and so I just thought I would share this with you guys. So I'm gonna put you down now, give myself just about 45 minutes until the bread is done, and just be with myself and get my thoughts out on paper. Okay, so quick little eco tip. My alarm is going off in here for the oven. I always set the timer a little bit shorter of amount of time than it's supposed to be, because I use the last couple minutes with residual heat. So it saves resources from having to like use the gas, mine is gas. Or if you're using electricity, it saves those things from having to heat the bread the last few minutes when it's gonna be hot in there to finish it off anyway. Journaling time is up. This is what I've got here. I'll just show you. I basically like to start with getting the negative things out of the way on the left side of the page, because my brain, for some reason, when I go to like write things down, it first thinks of like the hard things I've been holding in. Usually when I start writing, and I write down all the things that are bothering me first, or like hardships I've had over the last week or so. So I do all that, get that out of the way. Then I start brainstorming. So right now I'm working on a video. I don't want to tell you right now because like that would ruin the surprise of the video, but I started doing a little bit of brainstorming about like outlining what I want to say and what I think is important and all that kind of thing. That's my little journaling session for today. I definitely made it more sustainable and you know, my sustainable little notebook here, which I'll have linked in the description, from Earth Hero. This is absolutely a good thing to do. And I've talked to you guys before about how I really love the actual feeling of writing with like my hand instead of typing. And I'm also on the computer all the time, so it's nice to not stare at a screen for at least a little bit. But the notebook is done. We did our journaling for today. Check that off of the list of self-care quarantine things to do. Here we go. Look at that. Just look at that goodness, my God. Let's cut a piece and eat it. Shit, don't touch it, Shelby. It's not that hot because we were doing residual heat, but still probably shouldn't be touching it. I also bake very rarely, so if I'm not supposed to be cutting this yet and I'm doing it anyway and some of y'all are screaming your heads off right now, so sorry. It actually looks so good. Look at that masterpiece. Girl or boy, whoever you are, or non-gendered person, whoever you are. Oh yeah, that's really good. So what I'm gonna do is take my pumpkin bread upstairs for a bath. Probably one of the most cliche things to do in any self-care routine or any quarantine video you've watched is to take a bath. I personally love baths. It's part of my normal self-care routine, but today we're gonna take a little bit further. We're gonna do some skincare. We're gonna do some face masks. It's gonna be wild. Let's do it. I am just going to have to keep resting you on things and squatting for you to see me because I don't have a super mobile tripod that I use. Okay, so first things first, gotta put our hair out because we're gonna start with a face mask. There are quite a few sustainable options for face masks, but it's the one I'm testing out. So sustainable options for face masks include making them yourself. Clay face masks I've seen usually come or can come in like really basic, easy to recycle packaging. Lush obviously sells the one in the black pots where you can take them back. Earth Hero has several brands with sustainable skincare items. So that's where I got the one we're using today. This is by the Seeds Phytonutrient brand. You might have heard of them. They've been around for a little bit. This is just an aluminum tube. It's not a plastic aluminum laminate. So once you're done with this tube, simple, clean it out, recycle it. Aluminum is one of the most recyclable materials, if not the most, I'm pretty sure. It takes less energy to recycle and then make that into aluminum than it is to mine new aluminum. And that's the key to making recyclable more popular and more feasible, is when something is more valuable when it's recycled than it is to get virgin. That's the problem with plastic. But I'm gonna put this on and then I'm gonna run a bath. And I do definitely use bath bombs a lot. I use bath bombs from Lush. I use Osea's bath soak, and then I just got this. It just comes in this cute little glass bottle with a cork. It's so damn cute and it feels like so luxurious. Feels like I'm treating myself. So this has black Hawaiian sea salt, eucalyptus, peppermint, lavender, and I love minty things in my self-care, in my skincare, in my shampoo, in my bath. I love it all. The minty things, that's my thing. So I'm gonna be throwing this in my bath today. And by the way, baths are not the most sustainable thing. It takes a lot less water to take a quick shower than it would be to fill a whole bath up and take a bath. I know this, and I don't take baths all that often, maybe once or twice a month. And I do try to collect a lot of the water and use it to water my plants. You guys know I have a lot of plants. So just to make self-care a little bit more sustainable, those are my tips.
Did you want to take a bath? Huh? Did you want to take a bath?
Well, that was really nice. I do think that's only like the second bath I've taken since quarantine started. Because like I said, it's normally my self-care thing I do when Madison's not here, and she's been here the whole time. Anyway, something else I see in a lot of self-care routines is dry brushing. In honor of this video, we are. So I have this brush. This is a completely plastic-free dry brush, which has been really hard to find. Never seen one other than this one. This one is by Red Decker. Madison used my other dry brush when she had a really strange I didn't tell you guys this, but she just got a really random viral rash right around when coronavirus started, and none of the symptoms that she had correlated to like the virus. But it was really scary thinking like her immune system was already under attack by a virus, and then this is happening, you know. Regardless, the rash lasted for like 2 months. I think she got it like, we were at my parents' house, so probably like 2 to 3 weeks before lockdown happened, and then she just now is like getting over it. I tell you all this to tell you, she used my dry brush basically to freaking brush her skin off like during the whole time to try to prevent from scarring, and she got like her itch cream in it, and it's just like not, it's kind of nasty now. Not something I really want to use for self-care. So I picked this one up, like I say, completely plastic free and vegan. I've seen some dry brushes that are made from animal hair. Why would you do that? Don't do that, that's gross. So this one, like I say, completely plastic free. I'm just gonna take a second now and dry brush myself. I probably have to get naked for that. Probably can't show you myself naked on YouTube, but I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna put my tie-dye stuff back on. Don't judge me. All right, skin has been dry brushed. Now I need to put on lotion because after I get out of a bath or a shower anytime, I have to put on lotion. Again, it's a weird texture thing with my hands. I don't have to put it everywhere, I only put it on my hands and my feet, which is how this lotion lasts me so long. You probably know by now, I feel like I've talked about this for years. It's a refillable lotion by Plain. So the way this works is basically you order them, they send you this. When it's empty, you can send it back, you reuse this pump, and then they refill these and send them out to other customers. It's a wonderful product, a really great program I've been using for quite a while. You can get them on Earth Hero, so I figured I would let y'all know about that, but I have to put lotion on my hands and my feet before we do absolutely anything else. I was really interested to test out this new brand Earth Hero is carrying called Earth Harbor because they have a huge selection of different serums and oils and things like that. I find that a lot of sustainable brands only have like 1 or 2 things, but they had a really nice range, probably something for everyone there. They're also made in Utah in a solar powered factory, which I thought was super cool. So I wanted to give them a shot. I'll have them linked below if you want to check them out. Wow. Wow. I was gonna leave this part as a voiceover, but this is so flippin' nice because I put it in the freezer on my skin, because my skin, every time I do skincare, it has nothing to do with like what the ingredients are. I just have like slightly sensitive skin, and my biggest like concern with my skincare, like what I always try to target, is redness in my skin. And this is doing fucking wonders for the way my skin feels, because normally when I finish with my skincare routine, my skin's a little irritated, it's a little red, it's just like what it is. And I don't know if you guys can see this, but my skin is visibly getting a lot less red because of this. I mean, just because I put it in the freezer, I think. But the whole point of these little guys is it's supposed to help your skin absorb the product that you put on better. But oh my god, just like having something cold on my skin during my routine, this might be, wow, this might be something I incorporate like long term. Holy crap. All right, well, that went better than expected. Now I'm just gonna head downstairs. Well, yeah, my clothes are downstairs. I'm gonna head out for a walk because that is like one of the greatest forms of self-care. It's one of those things that relieves my stress and makes me feel better, even though I don't realize that's what's happening. But I've noticed that days where I don't get out of the house and I don't go for a walk, I am a lot more anxious than the days that I do. And it's not something that happens immediately. Like immediately on my walk, I'm just like, oh my god, my life is so great. But on those days, I notice I go to sleep a lot easier at night. So we found a really, really great little place by our house, and I'm just gonna head there today and do a nice little solo walk with Shelby. Well, that was a really nice walk and I really enjoyed it. I love that area. It's like an abandoned golf course essentially, and the city bought it and I think they're trying to turn it into something, I don't know. Regardless, I do love to have it as part of my self-care routine. But I think those were all the things I wanted to share with you today. I am going to order a mellow mushrooms pizza because why not? I don't know if I have much time left. I know Madison's going to try to be home before dark, but that doesn't always work out. So we'll see what she does. I am going to just have myself a little candlelit dinner. I do have this candle. It's by a brand called Sonari. I've talked about them before. You can check them out on Earth Hero as well. Their candles are made with plant-based waxes and oils, not paraffin wax, nothing weird like that. And the fragrance is with essential oil. So if you guys wanted to find a more sustainable candle company, these guys you can check out. And I'm gonna have everything I mentioned today linked below, all from Earth Hero. Like I said, they partnered with me on this video. You guys know I love them so much, and I would have done this video either way. So make sure you go check them out. I always have the discount code 10% off with code 10% off with code Shelby10. And remember, until next time, you cannot do all the good that the world needs, but the world needs all the good that you can do.